Alright, this is the video review for Transformers Generations War for Cybertron, Cybertronian Optimus Prime. Before I step right into the review, I'm going to say this is my first review of a figure, and so if I get a couple things wrong, just leave it in the comments section. I'll try and get to it and fix it. Also, my knowledge of Transformers isn't very extensive, so if you were looking for a little tidbits and knowledge or a little trivia, I'm sorry, you come to the wrong place. Because of that, my opinions will be solely based on the figure I see in front of me and not how they relate to their G1 counterparts or what they represent or anything like that. So strictly just on how this toy fares. Alright, so let's get started, and like I said, this is the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, based on the video game. Personally, in my opinion, I think he looks just gorgeous. This mold is wonderful. It's a futuristic Cybertronian tank, or not tank, sorry, truck. But the thing is, it's very sleek and menacing looking. I mean, this front grille, these little windows, and the huge side fenders, along with these big wheels and angled smokestacks, they just make for this sleek looking truck that looks both fast and powerful. I mean, it looks like it could keep up with Blur and yet take out Megatron at the same time. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. Yeah, and I mean, it's not just that, it's all the details down too. I mean, like these little red highlights here and here, little silver accents like that. They didn't have to put that in, but they did, and it looks wonderful. Even on the wheel, I mean, the wheel is just marvelous. There's a little star in the red band that goes around. The paint job is particularly great. I don't know if the camera will pick this up. So obviously it's red and blue, but on the red paint there's like a sort of red flake, and the blue has sort of a blue flake, and it gives off this sort of slightly metallic look, yet it's over plastic, and so it still retains the glossy feel. It's really cool. It's something you just gotta see in person. But yeah, some things though, I mean, it obviously isn't a perfect figure. In terms of representing what he looks like in the game, it's good, but I do have some issues with, we'll say, the back half. I mean, from here to here, great stuff, but from here to here, it looks like they just kind of got lazy with the design and kind of just tried to, they were on like deadline and figured that we'll just finish it off how it is. I mean, here it's all smooth panels, and you can tell here it's almost like it's missing panels. Like it should be like that, but it's not. Even up here where these gray bits are, they look too. They just don't flow well with the front. Even these the rear section, these are supposed to be taillights, but I mean, come on, they're just painted on lines, and they don't really look like taillights to me. Again, it could just be my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do still love this mold, and I think it all works. It's just, they could have done more work here. From the top, again, looks good. The bottom is kind of a mess. You can clearly tell there's a robot there, feet, hands, and head are all showing, so let's give or take, right? Let's see, he also comes with this blaster that you can mount, this one right here. Can just mount it right there. How does it look? I think it looks terrible. It's almost like an afterthought. It doesn't feel integral to the design. It almost looks like it was the gun is from a different toy, and they figured, we'll just put it with Optimus because he needs a weapon. Now I understand that all Transformers have to have some sort of way to store their weapons in their alt mode, but I mean, some are better than others, and this really falls on the side of just lazy. So usually I just don't even keep that there. Size-wise, he is a deluxe class figure. Here I have him with Classics Prime. So as you can tell, he's not as big as the Voyager figure, but he's a good size. I mean, he's a pretty big deluxe. Yeah, there you go. Rolls fairly well. Alright. Down to transformation, I gotta say, this was, for a deluxe class figure, this has probably one of the most complicated transformations I've ever seen. I mean, I think it rivals you know, most Voyagers, even a leader class figure. So let's get to it. I'm going to try and go through this quickly, just to save some time. So you just flip this up, pull the bumper, this comes up here. We'll just press these in and then pull them out. Yep. And there we go. Push that in. Yeah, I just want to kind of get through this quickly, just because, you know, you've probably seen his transformation a bit already. I am late to the party on these figures, so yeah. There we go. He has his legs. Just move this camera up a bit. Okay. Let's see now. Oh, right. His arms, you can just pull those up and out. The wheels can fold back. These come out. This piece here, this whole thing just goes right around, just like so. And now the chest turns all the way around. Just you want to clip in the midsection and pull this down to lock it all together like it's supposed to, and then clip together his side. They don't really hold him well, but they're okay. Head up, back piece in, and then for the arms, pull his fists out. These were fenders before, now they're the shoulder pads. Here we got the rear arm guards. So again, and that, and that. And there you have it. War for Cybertron Optimus Prime. When I first transformed him, I thought, man, he looks awesome. A fairly good representation of the video game figure. Everything about him, I mean, he's a good size. He's very bulky. Apart from his just thighs here, which are kind of strangely skinny, but I mean everything else is. He's got some mass to him. He looks powerful. He looks like the Autobot leader that he should. Details. I mean, this head, wonderful head sculpt. The long antenna, the tall middle crest, and of course his mouth guard, iconic mouth guard. They all look great. Chest piece, I mean, all these little lines, these red lines and highlights, they all just work really well. All the little grooves and cutouts. He got his Autobot symbol there. Everything works well with this figure. Another cool little design thing they put in was on the back. He has this Autobot face there. It's hard to make out, but it's there. Don't really know if it serves a purpose, but it's cool that they put that in. It's just little things like that that really make toys like this shine. But yeah. So again, weapon-wise, it's that same blaster that he had on before. This one right here. And all you gotta do is got this little automorph feature, just like that. Looks like a blaster, like anything you'd see in a modern, I guess, shooter or fiction with shooting. You know, space modern shooter. Yeah, it fits in well on each fist. We'll just put in this one for now. Personally, I've always liked the bigger cylindrical blaster, but this one works for this figure. I think the lines just follow it correctly, and yeah, it looks good. Let's see, comparisons for size. I have the Voyager Animated Prime. If he wants to stand, and as you can tell, Animated Prime is larger by a lot. But I mean, it's not too bad. Again, he is a deluxe figure. I personally still think that the deluxe Generations Optimus looks better than this, just because he has so much more detail. But yeah, there you go. Lastly, I guess articulation that you might want to take note of is he's got no waist swivel, but he's got pretty much everything else. You know, the ball jointed legs, double jointed knees, ball jointed foot, hinged full 360 arms, bicep swivel, and the elbow joint, wrist swivel, and of course the head's on a ball joint. So, an awesome figure, just perfect in every way, I think. Gotta say, this is probably my favorite of the Generations line. And there you have it. If you see him in stores, I totally recommend you guys pick this guy up. He's totally worth the money. But yeah, so here we go. This was Transformers Generations War for Cybertron, Cybertronian Optimus Prime. Thanks for watching.